And you have each sock is still good, yeah, because I'm a Costco guy, right?
Oh yeah.
White socks, 60,000 pairs. I don't care.
Yeah.
They all match. I don't care. I don't even roll them up in a ball anymore. I just throw them all in a drawer because they're all the same.
Yeah.
I don't care. There's for me, no ankle socks. First of all, for me, you don't want ankle socks because if I go out in the middle of summer, I have raw chicken skin, right? And you don't want, you just need, my socks are actually less white than my skin. So you don't want to see that. Anyways, yeah. Are you a laundry guy? Do you do a little laundry?
I do a little laundry. I've been known to, throw some stuff in the wash. Yeah.
Are you a color separator guy, or are you like me? If it fits in the laundry, it fits in the laundry. I don't give it.
Yeah.
I won't throw a brand new red shirt in.
Right.
But 2 washes, it's all the same.
Yeah. So I have strict instructions whenever I go near the washing machine. So
there's a radar, right? What are you doing? Separate the lights from the darks immediately.
Yeah, cold and warm. Yeah.
I know. There's always my washing machine has, like, at night, if I put a load in, it looks like a jet airplane with all the buttons and dials. I'm like, what happened to throw laundry and push button? Like, what world do we live in that my laundry needs to?
I have a question for you. Do you have any articles of clothing that do not have paint on them?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
All mine have something.
No, I do. But because they're brand new and they have yet to have paint on them. But
Good
I
answer.
do
Good
because
answer.
I just went to Costco and bought, I have this on, but I buy, again, Joe Boxers, Costco, underwear.
Yeah.
Socks, Champion socks or whatever they are, Costco.
Yeah.
And I have Kirkland black t-shirts. I just wear, they're cheap. I get 4 black t-shirts for next to nothing. And I wear them because I get paint on them. And when they get too much paint that it's like kind of embarrassing, I chuck them out. I don't care. Right?
So,
but just about everything, including my dress clothes, have paint. What about
me too. Yeah, me too. You think, I'll just touch up this one corner. What could go wrong? Yeah, stand too close or tip something over.
So I'll just say this about my son. There was a commercial one time that this kid was eating a hot dog or whatever, and then there was a mustard thing, and the mustard and the hot dog, and the kid was holding a pole, and he went sideways, and he's like a wind, and he's like, ah, and the mustard went, and he went, there's just no way. I was like, that is my son. He's had mustard on every article of clothing he's ever had, every time. And he just looked at me and went, what are you talking about? You go downstairs in a clean shirt, and you open the door, close the door, come back up, and you have blue paint on you. I'm like, I don't know. It jumps off and it attacks you.
It's magnetic. Yeah,
it is, right?
It's not our fault.
It is. Okay, hey, everybody. Welcome, Mark Cromwell, caricature artist. I've never had a caricature artist in. This is so cool because I'll tell you, here's my little story. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here.
Of course.
But here's my story. I'm in grade 10.
Yep.
And, for those of you Americans, 10th grade, whatever. I'm in grade 10. I'm taking drafting. I sign up for drafting.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, my thought is, my dad is a draftsman. He drafts, he does pipelines, he's a mechanical, chemical engineer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, maybe I'll do drafting, whatever. Then he can help me. And maybe I could be an architect, like an architectural renderer, because it's kind of art. Yeah. And I'm doing all this very serious stuff. And like, the teacher comes in and says, okay, my name is Mr. Mills, and I'll be teaching drafting, and this is a very serious thing. And if you like to doodle or have, your math book is adorned with drawings and whatever, this class is probably not for you. And I'm looking going, I was waiting for him to show up, and in 5 minutes, my whole page is doodles. I'm like, I'm screwed.
That's me.
I am screwed, blued, and tattooed. And was he right? That was not for me. No way. That preciseness, no way. So you tell me, like, how do you, like,
obsessive doodler to a fault, drawing on things I wasn't supposed to be drawing on, getting in trouble for it. But invariably, someone would say, he's pretty good. Let's get him to draw this or that. But I remember specifically, I started university wanting to get into animation.
Me too. That's okay. We're going to talk about that.
Okay,
That's super
okay,
cool.
okay.
I love it. Keep going.
So that means that at the time it meant going to Sheridan College out in Ontario.
It did.
So I was trying to get all my math prerequisites and so forth so that they would accept me into the animation program. So I started taking the math classes and my drawing classes, my art classes as well.
Because you need math to draw.
Yeah. So the midterm comes up for the math class, and I open my notes to study, and I have doodled over everything. Changed,
I love it.
all the 8s are snowmen, and it's so I had to
Yes.
I had to get my buddy's notes, and I ended up passing that exam somehow. Yeah, but that's when I realized who's kidding who here. I got to do the art angle,
Yeah.
and then somehow make that pay off.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I went to art college, and in my first year, I thought, you know what? I can draw this and I can draw that. I think I'd like to do animation because I doodle. So, and the year I started, they closed the animation department at ACA and said, well, we don't have the funding and the machines are too big and everything's changing.
Yeah.
So they closed it. So I kept going, but there was no animation. So I looked at Sheridan College, and then I applied. I actually applied, and this was before internet. So I wrote out a thing going, I think I want to go to Disney. And they, politely said, nice try, loser. Like, I had no idea that you had to have some like whack skill to get hired by Disney at the time and whatever. I just thought, well, what am I going to do? Start at the top and work down. And I thought Sheridan College and Ryerson had a...
Right. That was another school,
had a little bit and was all in the East. I was a little reluctant to move. I was young. Yeah. I know, but I thought animation would be a funky thing to do too. Like,
absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very.
But you kept going.
I kept going, in the arts. So, I pursued a fine art degree. So I have a BFA Fine Arts, University of Calgary.
Ooh, name me a teacher. Shout out. Did you have a good...
Bill Lang. Do you know?
No.
John Hall.
Oh, yeah, of course I know John. Yeah, shout out to John Hall. Yes, absolutely.
Jerry Hushlack.
Of course. Sold him many rolls of canvas. Hey, Jerry, if you're out there, I still love you. You got to remember me. You always ground me down for a price. You were, man, I swear that you, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He's out there. I just ran into him 2 days ago in Canada.
How old is he? He's got to be. He's got to be in his 70s now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I would think so. Yeah.
But he ground me down, but he was always a fair and nice man. Okay. And I liked him.
Here's another name, University of Calgary professor Larry Cromwell. My father.
That's your father?
Yeah. So he taught with...
Get out of here. Your father is... No way.
Yeah.
Get no way.
Yeah.
How do I... What?
That's how I got
so
into the arts.
For those of you who don't know, explain who your dad is then. Oh, this is funky. Okay, go.
Yeah, so my father, Dr. Larry Cromwell, he was department head a couple of years at U of C. But he was art education primarily was his field.
Yeah.
And a talented watercolor painter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know I know your dad, right?
Yeah.
Like personally, I know your dad.
Well, I suspected so, but we've never actually talked about that.
I didn't really, I've critiqued his work. He's just so you know your dad is a fucking killer watercolorist.
Nice.
I totally know him. He's bought from the store many times. I know your dad.
Yeah.
Your dad and my art teacher, John Compton, were buddies.
Oh, okay.
They hung out together and painted because John Compton was a watercolorist too. But your dad, and I totally know you. I'm pretty sure if your dad showed up today, he goes, I know you. You're a putz, whatever.
My dad passed away, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
2018. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's really that's so.
Yeah.
Love the shock on the old TV. That was shocker. Anyways, super cool. So let's go down this road then.
Yeah.
Caricature artist, was your dad proud? Not proud?
Oh,
is he
is
he Irish and just said, nah, shut up, I don't give him a dad, I don't drink.
No, the Irish was more on my mother's side and my wife's side, big time. So our styles, so my father always encouraged me growing up. I remember just even as a little kid, he would come home from university. He was taking his art education, doctorate. He would bring home the end of the roll of the newsprint and the box of crayons that were worn down to nubs. And he'd unroll the paper on the kitchen floor and he'd dump out that box of crayons and he'd crack open a beer and sit down with me and we'd start just doodling and drawing. And
Dude, I love that.
yeah,
I love that.
I learned that drawing was play, that it was fun.
And fun.
And that you could, you didn't need an end result in mind. It could just be a process.
Yeah.
And lose
that's
yourself
awesome.
in that creative zone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How was your mom with all that?
My mom was a teacher as well. So, she was, of course, very open to any kind of guidance, mentorship.
What did
like
she
that.
teach then?
Well, she taught in a one-room schoolhouse in Kansas. So I
Kansas?
believe she taught
Like Kansas,
everything.
Kansas?
Kansas,
like
Kansas,
we're
yeah.
not going
Like-
to Kansas anymore, Dorothy, Kansas?
What's the dog? Toto? and
Toto, we're
Dorothy
not in
and all
Kansas
that.
anymore, Toto. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Both my parents actually born and raised in Kansas. Yeah.
Do you have American citizenship?
I do. I'm a dual citizenship. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, dude. No. Yeah. We're not going to get into any politics
Okay.
here, so don't worry. And
Safe
this is
zone.
a safe zone.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
a safe zone, so you don't have to worry.
All right.
That's a governmental issue, not a actual personal issue. That's cool.
Respect.
Brothers? Do you have brothers,
Respect.
sisters?
I
What do
have,
you got?
yeah, I have a younger sister. Yeah.
And was she born in Kansas too?
No.
Oh,
She and
does that
I-
bug her that you have dual citizenship and she doesn't?
She does. Yeah.
How did she get that
We
then?
were born in Idaho because my father
Oh,
took a teaching position at a junior high school in Idaho, Boise, Idaho.
I know exactly. The potato state. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The Boise, Idaho is Gilligan's Island. Marianne was from Boise, Idaho, and she was the potato.
I don't think I knew that.
Marianne, there's Marianne and Ginger.
Yeah.
Marianne was from Boise, Idaho, and she became the potato spokesman for Idaho for at least maybe 20 years till she passed away. I think she's
Wow.
done now, but yes. So Marianne from yeah. So you're in good company. Sorry.
Oh, so cool. Nice.
Yeah, that's super cool. All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So how do you're like?
Yeah.
Did you ever take a caricature course from someone?
I never.
Who's your dude? Who's your caricature dude? Tell me Mort
well,
Drucker.
Mad Magazine. Yeah.
I was gonna say, tell me Mort Drucker, please.
Yeah, right.
I love it, Mad Magazine. Like that was that dude. Oh my god. I know.
So talented. So as I said, I was always a doodler. And end up taking my fine art degree. So, anatomical drawing, portraiture.
Of course.
I did printmaking. I did photography when there was actually a dark room,
Oh my lord, yeah. Right?
And then I started my company with a partner, Color Club. Still doing that
You
today.
still have Color Club. You still have Color. That's
Club.
awesome.
Yep,
I love that.
Yep. And then, so my first real good paying client wants to hire me for caricature, and I'm trying to say no. Like I've not really done that. Like I doodle, I cartoon a little bit, but caricature is a little beyond my skill set. And he says, that's too bad. I got a really good budget for this. I'm like, wait, hang on.
Hang on. Whoa, you just
I didn't say no.
cha-ching.
So that's got to be 36 years ago.
Did you take the
I
job?
took the gig.
And?
Yep.
And?
Loved it.
Oh,
Fell in
there
love
you
with
go.
it.
There you go.
Went over really well. Led to another gig. And so I kept caricature up as a hobby ever since. But now I work with agents. I must have 10 different agents across
Dude,
the
it's not a hobby.
country. Yeah.
This is not a hobby. This is a job.
It's
This
blown
is-
up. It's a job.
this is a
now.
job.
Yeah.
So I know your father's passed away, but how successful were you before he left?
Oh no, he knew. Yeah, I was running the Color Club. And
he knew
was
he was-
supporting a family, and like we had a house, and kids
Love
were going to school, and yeah, he was
Wow, I
he was
love
very proud. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
And your mom? Where's your mom?
She's still in the same house that they moved to in 19. Well, I guess it would be the second house when we moved to Calgary. So they would have moved there in
First house. Tell me your first house, because it's an old Calgary thing.
Cumberland Drive.
Oh, yeah, up
in
north. Yeah, I
Cambrian
know
Heights.
exactly where you are. Right
Yeah.
up there behind the mall and whatever. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
School, junior high school, high school. Where'd you go?
Junior high was TB Riley. Probably never heard of that tiny little school in Bowness.
No,
And then high school was Bowness High.
You went to Bonus.
Yeah.
Who was your art teacher?
Staley, Rob Staley.
No,
Yeah,
I forget. Oh, I'm so bad. I dealt with a Bowness High School art teacher who her husband was a rep for HJ. Oh, if I heard her name, and I own 2 of her paintings, I should know her. Shout out to I'm so sorry, I love you, high school Bowness teacher. If you ever see this, remember. And you keep sending me things because you're having shows, and I love you. Anyway, sorry. So I have a bit of a connection to there because she was one of my favorite. She was one of my very favorite customers, and she bought lots from me and supported us when we were starving to death. And then I ended up getting. I got a kiln and a potter's wheel and some printmaking thing from some guy who passed away, and his wife was, I don't know what to do with this. And so I gave it to her and I said, all you got to do is pay the shipping. I don't care. I can't, it's heavy. I can't. And I sent it to her, and she was so thankful that their art program had all the stuff for nothing. Anyways, whatever.
Wow.
That's my.
Wow.
So I have a little connection there. Sorry, that's a sidebar.
Yeah,
whatever.
no,
That's
yeah.
blah blah blah.
I just I'm on the committee planning the Bowness High School 40-year reunion. Yeah,
so good.
Only reason that I'm on the committee is they needed a T-shirt design.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm terrible at planning.
Check this guy out, man. We get some free shit from him, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's probably
How much
exactly-
free shit do you get asked for? I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know. So let's talk a little business then.
All right. Yeah.
Let's talk a little business then, because I'm what they call So I went to
straighten my tie.
Yeah, I know.
Business meeting now. Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah.
I went to art college and whatever, and I kind of went in thinking I was going to do animation, and then it didn't work out. So I was like, well, I want to be an easel artist, which meant I just want to paint.
Yeah.
And I'll go to a gallery and sell my paintings. And if I do something interesting, fantastic. And so that's the road I took. And when I first started out, if you had good art, you could get in a gallery sold your art, you were good.
Right.
You didn't have to do shit. You just did your job, they did their job. Well, now my job is their job, and their job is to, I don't want to bitch about galleries, but anyways, so what do you do as business wise as a character artist? Because we just talked about this a little briefly off camera when we were there. Oh, it's so hard to sell yourself.
Yeah.
And so hard.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
So I have a balance between what I call commercial, which is being hired for a specific job, be it a commission or a caricature event or an illustration. So the sales happens before the art happens. You have a contract and you fulfill the contract. And then the other side of it is you're making art that you enjoy for yourself, hoping that at some point you can sell that off of a gallery wall or off out of your studio or something. And it's always a hope. And yeah, as we were saying off camera here, it's so hard to sell your own work.
It's so hard to sell your own work.
Is it because we're so close to it? It's personal to us, and if is it offensive?
So
if it doesn't sell,
I said to you, I'd I don't know, give me 10 caricatures. I could sell them probably tomorrow. I'll tell you why they're good and they're awesome and wonderful, and you'll be like, oh, ooh, thank you, and whatever. But I can do that. I can't do that with my own art. Why? I don't know why.
Yeah.
But and you said, oh, I'd sell your art in a heartbeat. I could go, look at this, man. This is the greatest thing.
Oh, absolutely.
What is with that?
We're our own worst critic.
Yes.
That I know to be true. But even the pieces that I like, that I'm proud of, they hang and people walk right by them.
Yeah. Okay. But do you find this? So this is what I found is you have well, God, I could go down so many roads here. There's the art that I was about to throw out and didn't, that sold, or the art that I was like, oh, well, this is a piece of shit. But, I call it, in a mall, you have a mall, like a shopping mall, you have anchor tenants, right? Or like an album. I should go down this road. You have an album. You have one or two good songs that are they're gonna pull as singles.
Yeah.
The rest of the album is filler. So you have a show. You have a few good paintings that are good. The rest is filler. But I look and go, I love this piece. And people walk by and go, no, I was gonna throw this out, and it's the first piece to sell.
Yeah.
And I scratch my head and go, what? Like, hello, over here.
Yeah.
And they don't. But artists come by and go, dude, like I just had a friend of mine walked by a painting that I have in the store right now and went, and she's a teacher in the store and went, that's a killer painting. That's like probably one of your best pieces. And I'm like, I really like this piece too, but it doesn't sell. Artists like good work that artists like. Other people, and I'm not shunning on other people, but other people just like whatever they like.
And
so,
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, that's I'm not going to make people like a particular piece.
No, I know, but what you said was, isn't it amazing that people don't like the good shit like the regular people don't?
I wonder if they heard us talk about the pieces we like and explained what we like about the piece, why we like a particular piece.
So my art teacher said that to me.
Is that right?
You need to talk about that. My art teacher says, I know, you're not supposed to be a braggart. He was from England, and he would say, you're not supposed to be a braggart. Don't get braggadocious about your art. But he said, but when you talk about things, go, oh, thank you for your compliments. I particularly like this area. It was very challenging and very hard for me, but I worked it out, and I like how it ended up.
Yeah.
And I said, I put my heart and soul into that because it was tough.
Right.
And he says, just build that up. And,
okay.
It might be a little bit of bullcrap for what it is, but he said, my worst thing is I'm like, oh, thank you very much. It's good. Whatever. It's I don't like that painting.
I'm
right?
the
And
same.
I'm like, I bash my own. How do you bash your own painting in front of someone and expect them to go, oh, now I want to buy it? It's like, you want to buy that car? Great. Yeah, it's a piece of shit. It's got bad gas mileage. It looks good, but whatever. Oh, I'm going to buy that car.
That's an excellent point. You're right. If somebody compliments a painting, the immediate response will be, it's good, right?
You should own that and go, thank you. And that was, I just right away go, thank you for noticing. That's the hardest part I had to paint. And it was very challenging. I love that you like that. And they're like, oh my God. Then they love, I know. But it's I know. Tough. I just would rather just hear you would go sell my painting, whatever. I know, right? Yeah. I hear you, dude. So much. Yeah. Yeah. And critique. It's so easy to critique other people's paintings and go, yeah, you should move them out and do this and that. I get critiques from lots of my friends. Like I got Julie Hamilton and I got Jean Geddes. I got my own, well, I'd say, I have my wife will critique my paintings, but I don't take her with a grain of salt because she's like, you should move the tree. And I'm always like, move the tree? That's what? The tree is the whole painting. And then I go downstairs and move the tree because she was right. So no, I don't want to do this. Does your wife critique your art?
Oh yeah. She's got a good eye though. She has a really good eye for color, and pattern. What colors go together? So she'll call me out if I have if I've exaggerated colors that don't go together. Yeah. So yeah, I respect her view on it, definitely.
That's awesome. And kids, you have kids?
I have 3 kids.
All right. Yeah. How let's just go, how old? Because I'm going to ask you questions now.
Okay. I always have to do some math.
Oh, I know, me too. I have to do math. I have to do math on how many kids I have. I'm like, how many do I have? Yeah, there's one. No, I have that guy and the girl. And then I had to rent a kid and another rent a kid. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, Okay, go.
27, 24, 21.
All right.
My oldest is a boy. Other 2 are girls. Yeah.
Any art going on there?
Very creative. All of them.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
My son's a writer, a creative writer.
Okay, here, stop there. Is your wife creative? What does your wife do? Because I want to see the influence there.
She's creative, but she doesn't. Yeah, she's
careful,
an administrator. Yeah, office manager, administrator. Also
Perfect.
Home manager administrator.
So you got a manager and an artist, and you got kids running one muck. Go.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about your 3 kids.
So my son Sam is a very talented creative writer. English degree from University of Lethbridge. And my youngest daughter Reagan is attending U of A in Edmonton. She's done some modeling and was really good actually at knowing about the light and the photos, picking photos from 100 shots. She would have the eye to pick it. Yeah, it's really cool. And she's quite crafty too. She's done a little bit of painting and doodling and drawing. Yeah, she's quite talented. And then my middle daughter Kaylee, she's the only one that was ever musical. No one else in the family. we ran away from that. But she was quite through high school and band and so forth. And then she makes her own earrings and is also super crafty now.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
She was totally into.
You created an environment for these kids to thrive in.
Yeah, they always knew they could come out to the studio and find some paint or some glue or whatever they needed for a crazy idea.
That.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Some of their school projects. They go out to the studio and start working on them, and I can't help myself. I got to jump in too. So we handed in some pretty elaborate work to the grade school teachers.
That was my kids too. I love how my kids were like, "Oh, we have a project to do." My son had I remember Ryan had a thing where he's like, I have to do the solar system. And I'm like, we're making balls and painting them. And I'm like, we're spinning them around. And I go, you see, remember that all this shit that we made has nothing until you spin it around and go, and then we have Jupiter. And he'd be like Van Halen. He'd be like, Jupiter. And he'd be like, it's spinning. And he goes, and this little tiny thing. And I was like, he was always over the top. He'd play drums. And I told him, remember, you're about to play a song for the recital and everybody's heard it, whatever. But I need you. I said, this is what you do. Stand up, click your drums and go 2, 3, 4. Hello, Chicago. And then play drums. And everybody said at the end, oh my God, your son was hilarious. And I'm like, I told you, it's never it's about the show. It's like you create an environment for them, and it's the presentation. Isn't it fun? Yeah. How fun is that?
So fun. Oh my gosh, yeah.
So are your kids still artistic? Or are they still?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Any grandchildren yet?
No, my oldest is getting married this summer. So,
fantastic. So is mine. My oldest is getting married this summer too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and he has. I have 2 grandchildren. My oldest is getting married this summer too. He doesn't have grandchildren, but I'm like, oh my God. And when you have grandchildren, you get the two diverse things. Yeah. I have a grandchild. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Oh my God, this costs money. And oh my God, I'm tired. I'm like, I realize now, I'm sorry, Grandpa, that I was such a pain in the ass to you and I was old and take you everywhere. You took me to the zoo. And I'm like, do more. And he's like, I'm getting tired. We got to go home. And I was like, I don't know. Now I get it. Yeah. It's weird being my parents' age.
Yeah, I'm totally noticing this as well. Yeah.
So you're younger than me, but isn't it weird? Like, okay, so you've made a career out of this, dude.
I have, yeah.
Don't you get proud of that? You got to be proud.
I alternate between proud and kicking myself for should have done something else. So I mean, there's good days and bad days. There's good contracts and ones I wish I hadn't taken. But
I know, but would you trade this for a suit and tie and money?
No.
There's no way.
You're right. Yeah.
Would you trade that for a suit and tie and money?
Couldn't do it.
No way.
Couldn't do it.
You got a house. You got kids. You did it. You rocked it out, man. Like,
all right, I'll own it.
Okay, so. Bit of a tense issue, but I'm going here.
We're going serious.
Yeah, we're going to go a little bit. Right. I don't know if it's serious because I don't know you that well. What? That's so funny. I know your dad. I'm just so freaking out about that. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to go down this road. This is a road that I know nothing about. So don't get me wrong, but I just, as a character artist, because I see this all the time, what's your stance on AI?
Yeah. Initial thoughts are, scares me. The new phones, the new Samsung phones, they have a portrait feature. So if you take a photo of a face,
It makes a caricature.
you can choose from your filters. One of them is caricature. Yeah,
know.
which is what I do for money. Yeah,
know.
and now the phones do it. Yeah, but I think it's way better to sit to a live caricature artist that can capture some of your personality, bring in something that you've just talked about, and make it a very personal 5-minute experience. And you're taking away a keepsake of that.
Do you do that? Have you sat and done sorry, I'm walking down by the river and it's like the whatever, Eau Claire, and there's a dude, pay this money and they'll do a caricature of you.
So I don't really do the busking part of it. I have done in the past. I have focused on working with the agents. So my goal has been to be on the top of the call list for several agents, and then they'll send me out to events. They take care of the billing, and so I know I'm going to get paid. I know I'm going to have a table with chairs and power and everything I need.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's been
this
the way
is
to
my
go,
fee, and you make this happen for me.
Yeah. I have done like fairs and festivals where I'll set up a little table, which is kind of like busking, I guess. And I'll only do the ones that are fun, little Comic Cons or little horror cons.
I did when I first started out, when I was just married, little Ryler was not even born yet. No, I was just I didn't have any kids. And I would draw hot rods. I'd draw cars because I love drawing cars. And I own hot rods. I own a shitload of hot rods. I got more money invested in hot rods than anyone should ever have.
I did not know this.
Oh, God, I'm never going to get it. And yeah, if my wife ever found out what I've actually paid for the shit that I have in the garage, she'd then own up to how many handbags she's paid for.
Right.
Anyways, never mind. That's an outside joke for my son. I forget where I was going with this. Holy shit. I
have a secret collection as well that takes up a lot of my money and now room in my basement. I'm still a comic book geek.
Are you totally?
Oh yeah.
So go. What's your go-to? Okay. What's your go-to? Second, what's your most expensive comic?
Okay. Go-to was Iron Man as a kid.
Really?
I loved the Iron Man. That's something about that suit that just invulnerable.
So where are you on the Robert Downey Jr. thing?
That's kind of losing me, that whole Marvel track.
I love you. All right. Okay. Most expensive comic.
So I got to backtrack a little bit. I think it was grade 11. My friend got given a stack of comic books from his uncle, and there's some nice stuff in there. He got in trouble from his mom because he hadn't done his chores yet. And I said, well, you know what? I can go mow the grass for you, and I'll even vacuum your basement, but I want to pick 10 comic books.
No.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah.
Did you, at this point, do you know your comics?
Not really. Like a little bit.
But okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So in that stack of 10 comic books was a giant size X-Men #1.
No.
Yeah.
You have that now?
I just had it graded, actually.
And?
6.0.
And I don't know what that means, but
it's pretty good.
Talk to me money. Talk to me dollars. I only know dollars. What do you think? So what's okay, let's go back. What's the price on the comic?
35 cents.
35 cents?
No, wait, it's a giant size, so it must have been 60 cents.
Oh,
yeah.
60 cents.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What do you think? Give or take, just right out. What do you think?
$4,000.
Oh,
$5,000.
What?
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Dude.
That was a score.
Dude, that's my God, that's a score. I have a box of hockey cards up there.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what's in there. There could be a prize-winning hockey card. I have stacks of them that people were moving, and they're like, I don't know, just here, take them. Man, I think there's shit in there. I always feel like I'm going to go to the guy and the guy will go, oh yeah, these are good. Well, I give you $30 for this, and then I'll find out, oh, that was worth $300. I got ripped off. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
Have you, so you've had them graded?
Some of them. It's expensive to get them graded.
How many comic books you got?
How many comic books?
Yeah. What do you got down there?
6,000 books probably. There's boxes everywhere. I know. Awesome. It's kind of taken over. Yeah.
Did you ever want to be a comic book artist?
Oh, definitely. I have been actually. I published a couple of comic books.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Bonko was my first one, which I did in university, and then I was on a zombie comic book for a couple of years, Zombie 2012. And then there were a couple spin-offs that didn't actually go to publication, but we had drawn the first issue for Rags and Zombie Assault Squad. Yeah.
Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty. There's no money in it, but
there's no money in all this shit. I know.
True,
hey, kids, welcome to No Money. Here we are, making no money. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. Okay, where are we going now? You got the rest of what are you doing now? We're going to go back to AI. So AI is like,
yeah. I mean, I've been reading. There's some cool AI is doing some pretty cool stuff. They just found all these petroglyphs they didn't know existed because AI has a formula and is analyzing all these photos or whatever. So AI is going to be beneficial. It has a place.
See, I love that you said that because I'm all on the AI platform. I have issues with whatever, but the bottom line is humans will always create.
Yeah.
We've always created, and we've always had AI. Every time someone did something, the minute someone printed, they went, oh, we could make a typewriter and make it print easier.
Yeah.
And they did that. That was AI.
Yeah.
Everything's been AI.
Yeah.
It has been there, and humans find a way to go above and beyond and go, if I could take that, what could I do with it? I'll tell you now that never in the history of the 30 years that we've owned the art store, the classes are fuller than ever. Good. Everyone wants to create. They want to get off their phone. They want to get off their device, and they want to just do something that fills their soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go fill your soul and get off your device.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
So I've been taking fairly loyally the life drawing at your store and meeting the artists that attend and have the best conversations and see a variety of styles and techniques and mediums. It is I look forward to that night so much.
Isn't it just the coolest that you get 20, 25 people in a room, one model, and not one thing is the same. Everybody's using different medium, different techniques, close up, far away, pencil, color, everything. And I walk around and I look at my art and go, oh, all right, I kind of got this. And I look and go, oh my God, look what that guy's, oh, look what she's doing. Oh my God. Yeah. And I love that will never end. AI will only take whatever it's been given, but it'll never make its own. You're going to always need us.
Yeah.
Hey, AI, you're always going to need us for the rest of the world. You're always going to need us, right? Oh, fantastic. Hey, thank you for coming out. I'd like hang on. Okay. You can get that up. What time are we? Oh, I got way more time.
Good.
I've been worried. I was like, am I going over? And okay. Oh, you got lots of time. All right.
I heard you say that you have favorite customers. I'd like to talk about that.
My favorite. I do. Well, I do. Of course, I have favorite customers. First, those that spend more money.
30 years. That is quite an accomplishment. Yeah.
Bye-bye, pen. Sorry. So the weirdest thing is that I said at some point many years ago, like over 30 years ago, that I have a yearbook. I think not a yearbook. My mom made me this thing where you put your treasuries and whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I have things like, I got my grade 2. I ran 100 yards. Yay! And I got a ribbon. And she had all this scrapbook thing, and it's huge. It was a thing that you had little pouches and you put shit in.
Oh, that's cool.
And she gave it to me just before she died, and I flipped through it and I look at it and it says, at one point I wanted to be a police officer. Then I wanted to be a fireman, like grade 1, grade 2. Then grade 3, it's like, I want to be a biologist. And I'm like, a biologist? What the fuck did I write? And then it was like grade 4. I was like, I want to be a paleontologist. And I couldn't even write it. And then grade 5, it's like, I want to be an artist. I'm like, wow, I'm all over the map. And from grade 5, grade 6, and I think it ends. I don't think I stuff anything in. But grade 6 says, I still want to be an artist. It was the only one I wrote back to back. And I thought, I think that's so weird, because I was an auto mechanic forever. I went to mechanics. I went to SAIT. I took automotive service technology.
So the hot rods.
I did. I worked on hot rods and I worked on cars. And I love working on cars. I have a hot rod in the garage. I got a car in the. I got so much money tied up in cars, it's sickening. I love to do it on my own time, but working for the man was like, oh yeah, and you didn't do this right, and you got to come at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm not an 8 o'clock guy.
Right. Yeah.
I'll come at 9 because I'm late and I'm sorry, and then I get involved with the car, and I'll stay till 9 at night if you want. But oh no, corporate Canada didn't want that. Like, I worked for Blaskin and Lane. I worked for Firestone.
Oh yeah.
I worked for Dale Adams Dynatune for a while.
Oh.
And I fixed race cars, doing carburetors when there was carburetors. I didn't even know what I'm like, oh my God. And they had to be there at like 8 in the morning. And I'm like, I'm not an 8 in the morning guy, you realize, and I could work all night and give me a beer and I'll fix it. I'll just take it home and I would fix this shit in my kitchen table. And my ex-wife was like, oh my God, she'd open the dishwasher and go, this is not a parts cleaner. It's a oh my God. I'd be like, I have to have this done. It's like homework. I have to have this by 8 in the morning because the guy wants his car. It was so bad. And I wasn't very good at it. And so I'll just say this for the podcast.
Okay.
I'm working as a mechanic. And they bring a motorhome in and they say, you need to drop the oil pan, change the oil filter in this big oil pan. And I'm like, okay. So I do it. And as I'm under there, you have a creeper. So they didn't have a hoist for this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm on a creeper and I'm underneath and the oil pan's dirty. So I'm drawing on the oil pan. It's dark. And I'm like, here's you could have land and a little tree. Then you could have like some sky. And I'm like, that'd be cool. You could paint that. Anyways, I do this and the thing goes away. And the whole time I'm doing this, the reason I'm doing this is because if my legs are sticking out and I'm under a car, they think I'm working. But I'm not working. I'm like, I've already done. I'm just shitting time, right? So anyways, the thing goes away, comes back. The oil pan's leaking because I didn't scrape the oil pan enough and get the old gasket off, so it's leaking. Anyways, the Winnebago comes back and they're like, oh, you guys are complaining and whatever, and you did a shit job. Anyways, you got to fix this. So I go, drop the oil pan, clean it better, put it up, and as I'm there, I'm like, yeah, see, that tree should move over and the road should be wider. And I'm now fixing the drawing that's still there. And I realized at that very moment, I'm in the wrong job. There's no way I'm hiding again, and all I want to do with my dirty fingers, I'm drawing on an oil pan.
I love that.
And I was like, I got to do this. So the second thing to that is, not more than a couple of months later, I'm driving home, and I listened to a Bryan Adams interview, and Bryan Adams says, and I didn't even like Bryan Adams at the time. I'm like, he's so whatever. Come on, Zeppelin. Bryan Adams goes, I was always under the thought that I don't want to do art for a living because then it'll become a job. Like if I do art for a living, it's going to be a job. I don't want this to be, I don't want to be a slave to that. Yeah. I do it because it's my hobby. It's my thing. And Bryan Adams said, if you do what you love, it will never be a job. I literally just about drove my car off the road on Deerfoot. I think Deerfoot's brand new at this point. And I literally almost drove my car off going, that's it. I have to be an artist right now.
Yep.
I said, I had those 2 experiences. That's it. I have to find a way to do this. Yep. I don't care if I starve for the rest of my life. I have to do this.
Yeah. I respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned deciding what you're going to have to be. I have a story about that. It would have been grade 3, and the teacher says, gives us all paper and pencils, and we're to draw a picture of what we want to be when we grow up. Well, I froze. I couldn't believe I had to decide right now. I thought I'd have years to decide.
Totally.
She's saying, no, you have to draw what you're going to be when you grow up. I'm like, oh, pilot or policeman, pilot or policeman. So I ended up drawing a policeman, and I cried all the way home. I want to be a pilot.
Oh, what?
I didn't.
Too much. I remember the pressure of being in grade 11 and 12, and I was in grade. Remember, like, I don't know, we were probably in Calgary by grade 9, but in grade 9 we had aptitude tests. Remember that?
Yeah.
So my aptitude test came back. I should be a civil engineer. Can you imagine the fucked up bridge I'd make right now if I was a civil engineer? Or can you imagine the bridge? I'm like, yeah, here's a bridge, and there's a left turn and a right turn. Take your pick. I don't know what goes on, and one falls off, and one does. I don't know. It's kind of funky. I don't know. Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine what. But I would just, sometimes, just when in doubt, C out, A, B, C, D. I just C, whatever. Let's just see what happens. I didn't. Who cares?
Huh.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was a pretty good student through high school. I got all the awards. I was the smart guy. I did all the homework for the guys on the basketball team and all that stuff.
You suck. Yeah, you're the guy that, Miss Avery, was there any homework for Friday before we go? I'm like, oh, stab that. Oh, I hate you. No, I'm just
that bad. It wasn't that bad. No.
Yeah, that's all right. Super. So what do you do now? So forget the AI thing.
Yeah.
On the horizon, what are you doing? What do you do? Okay, let's go there.
Okay.
Do you play now? Do you go home? Do you practice? Do you play? What do you do for entertainment? What do you do to keep your brain engaged and alive?
Yeah, so I mentioned the comic books. I'm doing a series of collages of some of my favorite superhero heroines.
What's a superhero heroine?
Like Red Sonja, Wonder Woman. I have a Wonder Woman. I'm going to start an Elektra.
Any anime? Yeah.
I have taught some anime classes, but I don't really practice that. Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Isn't it huge?
Like at Indigo.
I'm not even sure it's a thing anymore because it's been a thing for so long. It shouldn't be a thing anymore. It's so funny. I call my wife Chibi, which is Chibi is like a little anime with the big eyes. And I saw there's a book called How to Draw Chibis, and it was a blonde little thing with green eyes, and my wife is blonde. So 20 years I've called my wife, and she calls me Chibi too. I'm Chibi with 1 B, she's Chibi with 2 B's. Or if I get, sorry Michelle, if I get that wrong, I forget. I'd have to look on my phone.
Chibi,
but we're Chibis. We're both Chibis. We became Chibi, and everybody's like, "The fuck is Chibi? What is Chibi?" I'm like, we're little Chibis. We're little anime characters. I love it.
Yeah.
So no anime, cool. No.
Well, like I said, I've been teaching some classes. I did a series out in Didsbury. I'm in talks to do some for Airdrie. Done some caricature classes at Swinton.
You have. That was awesome.
Yeah.
You were awesome, and that one girl in the corner. Oh my God! And her eyes were so good. Like you're so good. You're so good. Yeah.
Super fun. I have really enjoyed the teaching. That's pretty new to me. I've done some classroom stuff through the years, but this has been really fun to get out and about the little towns too, like Didsbury and Carstairs I've been to.
So here's a funny story. I've done all those towns for 30 years, and I sort of one of my older best friends was in a band, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you do Didsbury, you do the B route. That's the B cycle. You're always doing those little bars." And then he goes, "You do the slummy clubs in Calgary," but he goes, "Then you get on the A route, so you get on the better bars, so they pay more." And I was like, "Then you get on the A list," and I was always like, I did all these little towns and all these little things, and thought, "Yeah, okay, I'll do those, and then I'll get on the A list." And I'm like, in art, there's no A list. every town has artists and someone who's good and others that aren't. And you know what? Every time I go, they're the most wonderful people. They just want to paint. There's no, even in my own store, I have a workshop and go, I'm on the A list, and you get regular people that show up. Some of them know what they're doing, and you get the time hogs and the untime hogs and the people, whatever. They're all the same. And you know what? I just realized I love teaching everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so everywhere you go, there are people that just and they're aren't they happy to have you show up?
Absolutely. Like caricature is an example. There's a few tricks. There's a few techniques, and once you know those, your confidence level just starts increasing incrementally, like exponentially. I mean, so to show someone these techniques and then have their own eyes light up at their own drawing, you've instilled some sort of empowerment in their drawing. I love that. That's very cool. And then they're going to go home and practice and
just any nugget that you get that makes you better.
Planting seeds.
Yes. Planting seeds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, what's your your process? You just you got a blank piece of paper. I mean, I'm not saying draw a caricature, but you have a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Like, are you thinking, am I doing funky fun? Am I doing realistic? Am I unrealistic? Like, what's
excellent question. Yeah. So, most of my caricature is at a big event and people are lined up and I'm drawing one after the other as fast as I can. So the process starts as soon as you hand off the drawing you've just finished and you're pulling out your fresh sheet. You're watching the next person walk to the chair and how they walk, how they sit. Do they engage you? Do they not engage you? Are they outgoing? Are they shy? All of these are reads, right?
Yeah.
And then I know how much I can get away with. If they're avoiding eye contact and they're shy, I have to be conservative. I'm not going to exaggerate and make it goofy. But if they're a character, then they get the full.
Whatever. Go for it, man.
Yeah,
and they get larger than life,
Exactly.
and they get that. Yeah. I've seen those where you see the videos of people doing this, and the guy will draw the guy super skinny and his wife's kind of chubby and she's huge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, dude, how'd you get away with that? But now I see he read the room. She's fun. She's okay with it. You can already tell she's okay with it.
Still, though, that's really
have you gotten bitten?
I've not pissed anyone off that I know of, that they've said anything to my face. That doesn't mean that they stormed off home afterwards or whatever. I'm pretty conservative, and especially if you've been hired by an agent, you are entertainment. So
of course you are. It's less about the art and more about.
So
you got to be entertaining because they're paying. Yeah, I know. I hear
you. You do have to shy away from going too. But I did have an agent contact me and say, "Can you draw people mean? Can you do mean drawings of people?" And I'm like, "Why would I do that?"
Yeah, why?
And he's like, "Well, the client's actually requesting." I'm like,
yeah, because there's a dude going, I own the company and everybody's a dick at who works for me. I want you to draw everyone like a dick so I can go, you're a dick, you're a dick, you're a dick.
I think that's very close to the truth because it was an office and the manager.
So did you draw them all as a dick?
Well, I did, but but I was sweating bullets about doing this because I don't normally do it. So what I ended up doing was I built a caricature dial. And there's a setting from 1, which is super safe and conservative, up to 8, which is mean, and we're probably not friends anymore.
Oh!
And I set that on the table, and I had it cranked up to 8, so that the people knew.
You go there right away. They go, you realize you're about to sit down. We're at an 8. Yeah. We're going at an 8 right now, right? Yeah. You don't get to change the dial.
That's exactly
so
right.
if you're submitting to this, you're getting an 8.
Yeah.
And how was it?
So fun.
That's awesome. All right. And then nobody showed up for work on Monday morning and the guy lost his job. So, whatever.
I have brought out the caricature dial to a couple other events.
That's a great, I love that idea of a dial going. How do I dial you in on, I don't take a lot of commissions anymore. I'm just done with it. People are always like, yeah, you do this. I'm like, I've told them, if I do a commission now, you're getting my vision of what you want because I can't think through your brain anymore. I've done it. Oh my God. It's so, I had so many stressful times doing portrait commissions and whatever. Oh my God. But anything to make $1 at the time. I mean, I got mouths to feed and some of them, I'm looking way over there. Yeah, like little birds, like always. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So now, what are you doing now? Like okay. So I guess everything's different, but your process, like at home, what's your studio look like?
So my studio is a detached double garage. I put a gas heater in there and a fridge and a stereo. You know, the necessities.
Of course, I love fridge and stereo right away. Of course. What garage doesn't have that? That's not even a studio necessity. That's a garage necessity.
Got some good lighting, adjustable lighting.
What's your lighting look
easels. I got those halogen. How would you describe them? It's like
track lighting. Are you track lighting? Or are you?
No, I took that out. I didn't like that track.
Me too.
Lighting.
I did.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I took it out.
I got they screw into a normal light bulb socket.
Yes.
But they have louvers.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And position them to. So I've got warm ones and cool ones.
No,
I can.
This is the new age. You can buy lights that you can change the temperature on. Isn't that what that? Like 10 years ago, nothing. I got track lighting hanging down and lights everywhere and it's shit. Anyways, I love it. I love it. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And a window, natural light.
So your car does not go in the garage?
Never.
And the wife's okay with that? Like
she has to be. Sorry, but so the downside is I'm out brushing her car off.
I know. I do that too for my wife. But the worst for you is you're brushing your wife's car off because you can't go in the garage. My wife has a garage at another location, but her studio's there, so I still have to brush it off, even though she has another garage. I'm like, I got to brush off 2 cars, and you have your own goddamn garage. Anyways, whatever. I know. Yeah.
Happy wife.
Yeah. So inside your studio, give me a little lowdown. What does it look like?
It's not organized. It's planned chaos. Yeah, but I know where everything is.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So I do my own framing, and so I got woodworking tools, saws, movable workbenches. I've done some sculptures, so I have like the giant floor Lazy Susan that you can spin with your foot, stuff like this. I've all built.
So everything's arty no matter what.
That's all arty. There's paint splattered everywhere.
So you don't care. That's good. I love it. That's why. That's where I started with what's your sock drawer look like, because that usually leads me to what your studio looks like.
Great opening.
Right?
Question.
Are you an easel guy? Do you draw on an easel, or are you do you have like you got to have a drafting table in there somewhere?
I have a drafting table in my office, which is in the house in the basement. Yeah.
Oh, you got more. Oh, so you've taken over more space.
I do more and more.
How's the wife with? Oh, you keep taking over more space. Like,
well, it's a write-off, right? So that was my argument.
Yes, a write-off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I'm taking over the kitchen. Yeah. I'm done. I paint in the kitchen now. Yeah.
I was saying I do more and more computer stuff, so that has to be kept separate from the paint and the sawdust. So
digital, analog, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about. Let's just go down this road just real quick. What about the digital thing? What do you do digital? Well, you got apps. What do you?
Yeah.
You got a favorite app? What's your app?
My favorite one right now is Sketchbook.
Oh my God! You and I are just become best friends.
Oh, nice.
Sketchbook.
Yeah.
We're Sketchbook friends. Yeah. I love Sketchbook.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
Super powerful. So I do live events. I do live digital caricature.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Go down there. What is that?
Yeah. So I set up on a tablet. So I have a Samsung tablet on a little.
No Apple. Apple. Come on. Drink the juice, dude. Drink the juice. Oh, come on.
I like the Samsung.
Oh, you probably have an Android phone too.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Drink the juice, man.
No group texting for
All right,
me.
now go.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Go.
So the Samsung tablet communicates with a Samsung smart TV. That's my monitor.
All right.
So as I'm drawing, the whole room sees the drawing happening, coming together. And then you press print at the end, and then people get a 5x7 printout, and off they go, and you
that's
start
super
the next
cool.
one. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
So-
cool. Yeah.
So what's your go-to brush on Sketchbook if you had one?
So yeah, depending. So I do.
I use Tattoo Inker. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah?
I'm afraid to use anything else. I farted around with them. I'll do drawing with a few others, but
I like the splatter brush. I use that for the background all the time.
Oh,
so it looks,
I got to try that. I got to try that.
It looks like I took a full
Yes.
paintbrush and threw it on.
It's the way it gets funky in the background. Yeah.
Oh yeah, funky in the background.
Did you ever how much Procreate, how much Photoshop?
I've not really touched Procreate, Photoshop. So but now we're circling back here to Jerry Hushlack taught the very first computer arts class at U of C on Photoshop 2.0.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
What was that?
so
1943?
It
all right.
was crazy.
All right, go Diefenbaker.
File size, not even close to a megabyte. Like it was.
Wow.
It was crazy. But I learned. I learned.
It's the start.
Adobe there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It all kind of translates.
Yeah.
What I liked was, so I tried Photoshop. I couldn't get it. Man, it just was so hard. And Procreate, I use Procreate, and it has some features that I love, that I like. But I have found Photoshop is not intuitive. Procreate is like Photoshop Lite, and Sketchbook is Procreate Lite. It's so less. It's more intuitive. You can just. It's not hard. I don't, and I probably still don't even use, but 10% of Sketchbook.
Yeah.
But it's so. I find it so easy to use, and I can so. I had this guy. So I had this this other teacher that I had. This is a couple of years ago that said. I was always like, well, I feel weird, take a photo, and we're using a photo, and then I manipulate the photo, and he was always like, but you don't understand, like the very second that a shutter clicked, an artist took that and said, I'm using that. And that's kind of almost AI going, I don't care. This is a new thing. I'm using it. Right. And they're using it. Now you're like worried about using Sketchbook because I should be in my sketchbook, and I should be doing this and doing my little thumbnail sketches, and I should be drawing, and I should be fixing this. And he's like, he looked at me and said, but dude, this is your digital sketchbook. Yeah. This is your sketchbook. You're creating, and then you're going to go there and still create. If you do it 16 times in a sketchbook, that's fine. But you could do it 16 times and get one image that you like here and go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same as the camera. You're using a photo, everything. Right. Everything now, it's all AI. It's all going that way. And you need to kind of embrace it, but we're still here. We're right here. It's all inside. It's all what you see and feel.
The danger with Photoshop was always, is it really the artist making the art? Or is it like if you're using a Photoshop filter, it's sort of the computer's using you, isn't that right?
100%. So I would say to that, what I found is I can manipulate a photo.
Yeah.
And if I paint from the manipulated photo, then I'm manipulating the manipulated photo to paint from, and I'm not getting what I want. If I manipulate the photo, get it in my head that I'm like, oh, I kind of like this, then go back to the original photo, I get a much better painting. Oh. If I paint from the manipulated one, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm lost.
Right.
Because I'm manipulating that, because I'm creating at the easel.
Yes.
So just let me have some idea of what I'm doing, and then go back to the original and see what happens.
Yeah.
And at some point, I am now getting to the point where I think I just paint from the photo again, because I've done this enough times. I'm pretty good at it. It's like, well, you're a caricature artist. You dude,
I'm
your
used to
whole thing is
changing
looking at
things,
someone and changing it. Like that's your
distorting,
whole job.
Yeah, it's true. That's absolutely
It is your
true.
whole job.
Yeah.
How did you get? Like, do you remember? Like, what's your first gig? What do you?
Yeah.
Like,
So first gig was for Cointreau liqueur. I was given a big pad of Cointreau paper. It had been arranged with the bars beforehand that I was to be there, and I would just go up to people in the bar and say, "May I draw your picture, your caricature on this Cointreau paper?" And it was all awkward, and the first few weren't very good, but I started getting the hang of it, and ended up having some wonderful conversations with people while I worked. And I don't know if they ever drank Cointreau or if the promotion worked or not, but a lot of fun. Yeah.
paid your rent. You paid your rent.
Yeah. I enjoyed the money from it.
Were you nervous?
Absolutely.
Were you freaking out?
Oh yeah. So nervous. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you nervous now?
I'm not nervous anymore.
No?
No.
You should be a little nervous. You always gotta walk in a little bit.
I'm nervous.
I'm always
if,
nervous. I walk
yeah?
in. Oh, man, I've done a bajillion demos. I walk in, I'm always like, and then I got to feel out the room. And
So I'm nervous if there's a twist or if I'm doing something new. Like the manga was new for me, but so I spent a lot of time brushing up and practicing.
And you do some manga?
I drew some manga. This was a kids class, so
Yeah.
I guess that was a little bit easier too. But yeah, the caricature, I don't get nervous anymore. I've done it for so long, and you feed off the people, right? So if someone comes down and sits down, and I'm a little bit nervous, I'll just ask a couple questions. And
Did you ever do one and like screw it up royally, or you said you never pissed anyone off, but did you ever like go home and go,
yeah,
that was a disaster?
Well, they'll say, why is there a butterfly in my? Well, that was a mistake I had to fix. So you got a butterfly on your cheek. I've had pens explode.
Oh,
so you got big drops of black ink. So that becomes a cell phone, or like you can't start again. You gotta make it work.
There's a cell phone. Yeah, I love that creative.
There's people in line, right?
What's your go-to inker? What do you do?
I like the Copic markers. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Copic. Yeah.
So it's got to be a brush tip for me. Got to be brush tip.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's your go-to paper?
I use so I have to print like 100 sheets at a time with a corporate logo or whatever. So I need a paper that's supplied.
Oh yeah.
readily.
So that's a thing you do that and have a logo on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you print those yourself?
Staples.
Yeah.
And they have a 65-pound cardstock, uncoated, beautiful with the Copic ink. Yeah. Alcohol ink, so you can rub your hand over it right away.
Right. Dries right away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But the other artists I work with all have a different favorite pen.
Of course, everybody has.
Yeah.
Do you do funky birthday cards? Do you do?
Oh,
are
I
you
used
like?
to
Are you
do
like
stuff
always
all
like?
the
You're always like.
time,
Did you ever draw on shady dirty back windows, and were you always drawing on? Like me, I draw. Of course, I draw a penis and whatever. I walk by and I draw Ed the Duck and a penis. I know, whatever. Like, I walk by my son's car and go, put a penis on there.
What's the saying? If you once you have a hammer, the whole world is a nail. To an artist, the whole world is a canvas, and whether you have a brush or a dirty finger or a stick or whatever, the whole world is a canvas. I do love
that it started out with a dude. I always say my this is going to piss some people off, but my favorite thing is graffiti art, and part of it is. No, I don't like damaging public property, but what I like about graffiti art is
disclaimer. Yeah,
it's done anonymously and it's done for free. Nobody gives a shit, and they just do it because they want to be artists, and it's cool.
Yeah,
and I love that. And I think that Lascaux Cave is graffiti. That first person went in there and went, and then he took some shit and blew his hand and went, look, it's my hand. Cool. And they all went, oh, that's cool. Let's do some other thing. And the next thing you know, a guy drew a little stick man and a buffalo, and it took off, and everybody kept doing graffiti art in caves because they degraded these caves. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it. I just think those are graffiti artists. I love them.
I have a cool theory about that. Actually, it's not my theory. Another professor at university, John Stocking, taught art history.
Okay.
His theory was that they would be in the cave with a fire, and the fire was sometimes high and sometimes low.
Yes.
Sometimes it was 1 foot to the left. Sometimes it was over here, a
Yes.
little bit to the right. Well, it cast different shadows on the wall.
Yeah.
So they were actually envisioning the bison or the antelope or whatever they're going to go out.
It was like, oh, it looks like this.
Yeah.
That's like pareidolia or whatever, where you see a dolphin in clouds. They would see things on the wall and go, yeah.
And so they would
See,
paint or scratch in according to the shadow they just saw there.
Yeah.
And that would be different the next night and different several nights
Well, I
after
get that too. That's super cool.
So that could explain why they're overlapping and they're all over the place.
So what do you think about then? This is gonna just last thing. This is the last thing.
Okay.
I don't even know how to say this. Where do you draw the line between, or there is no line. I'm just saying, like, you're a caricature artist, and then there's easel artists and fine artists and observational artists, and there's all kinds of art. Like, and then there's people who are, like I always say, they're illustrators, and illustrators always want to be fine artists and whatever.
Right.
Like, do you land somewhere in there? Do you care about that, or do you just do what you do?
I don't care about that. I am all over the map. I still practice all those illustration, fine art, painting, sculpture. I'm all over the map, and I love it. The caricature to me is my reset, my base camp, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, so I can live in that world.
That's your go-to.
For hours.
I'm safe there, and I can go anywhere I want from there, but I can always reset here.
I'm creating. I'm talking to people about interesting ideas. Invariably, we end up talking about art, or their own art experience, right? I love it. Yeah, I'll never quit it. And then I can bring those experiences back to the studio and pull up a landscape painting or whatever and be rehashing those conversations and stuff in my mind as I work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Give me one or two your go-to. What's on your radar now for an artist? Who are you following? What do you like? You go on Instagram, whatever. I don't know. I hate all that shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at something, going, oh, I keep seeing. Oh my God, that guy's on the mark.
So
anybody on your radar?
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot, but
no. Favorite comic book cover artist right now is Jenny Frison. She's done some amazing covers. She took the Joe Kubert School of Art.
You see, you're a little out of getting out of my.
You're
a little out of my area right here.
Okay,
I'm not afraid to admit it. It's all right. I'll look it up and.
Joe Kubert was the artist in the 60s, 70s. Tarzan, Sergeant Rock. Amazing.
Lonnie Brazier, if you're watching this, you're going to kick me and go, are you kidding me? You don't know who this is. I know. I got some guys that I should know who that is. I'm sorry. I didn't get the name, but I'd probably look at the art and go, I totally know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's like a Frank Frazetta or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. So Jenny Frison, very cool. And Chuck Close.
Duh.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that the craziest?
Yeah.
Right?
Always been my favorite.
Still. And I've seen them. I've seen them in real. They're as amazing as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They really blow my mind.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Doug,
I know
pleasure.
to cut this off, I should be like, okay, last question. I want to ease this out. Sorry, Ryan will edit it. He's over there doing whatever.
Fantastic.
He's picking his, I don't know, he's not even, are you even looking? Are you? Oh, he's here. Yeah, he's like, oh, whatever. I fell asleep. No, thank you for coming out.
So fun.
It's
so
excellent.
Fun.
Mark Cromwell, I love you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for being at the store. Thank you for the podcast. Thank you for the beer. Thank you for driving all this way from wherever the heck you are in the north. I love you.
Anytime.
Woo!
Let's do it again. Yeah.